Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Santa Switch Adapted Toys. And somebody told me that Dollar Tree has answer buttons, game buttons. Well, they contacted me and they said, "Hey, Santa, doesn't that look a lot like one of the game buzzers that you adapt?" And I says, "Yeah, I'll go check it out." So I went down to my local Dollar Tree, and for $1.25, you get these game buzzers. Now, I've taken mine apart and pulled uh, little battery protector in there, and this is what it's going to sound like. That's kind of annoying. But right there is our switch. And if you attach it at the right contact points, which is just outside of here and on this side over there, I'm going to put a picture in the up on the screen to help show what this is. But there's two contact points that you're going to attach a cable to. This one out here you can't see until you scratch it off a little bit. It's white. The focus isn't working real well here, but it's white. Focus, focus, focus. Okay, right here. I scratched off the white material to expose the thing, and then right there on this side of the dome, again, focus is not working real well, but I'll show you where that contact point is in the picture, is where you can put the other wire. And when you do that, for this, you need a cable. I got a stereo cable. This happens to be a mono. There's only two wires in it. That's all you need for switch adapting. If you have stereo cables with three wires, see the link below, and it will show you how to identify. I use a tester that I built so that I can check all of my cables, but you can use a toy. If you plug this into a toy and make the contact across here, in my case, you see these lights light up, but your toy should activate. We're just going to leave that hooked up. So they made these so that you do not, you can't get into them. Normally in some of the switches, you'll see that there's a screw and four posts around it. And there's no screws in here. There's no holes for screws. What they've done is they put a peg in it and they actually glued this to the other part of the body with the dome in it. So you're going to have to take a screwdriver and do a little damage to it. And by gently popping this out, you can get that to come out and you can use it. We're not going to use the batteries, but I'm going to leave the batteries in here for a moment because we're going to use that as a test for this. I've got my stereo cable made up. And like I say in the links in the video, I'm going to show you where to connect these. Put a hole in the case so you can get your cable in, tie a knot in it so that the cable can't come out, right? See? Here's your strain relief. Simple, very simple. And let's see. I believe I'm going to need a little bit of solder on these 2 points so that when I lay my cable down on it, it sticks well. All right. So put a little bit of solder on that point. Put this in place. Put this in place. That's done. But it made the noise there, programmed out to do it. But you can see punching the button activated the toy that this would be plugged into. Okay. It's that simple. That's done. With the exception of we don't want it to make noise because we're making a switch adapter toy out of it. So we're taking the batteries out. Don't need them. Okay. We, Bob, don't need the speaker. So let's take the speaker off. Disconnect it so that it's not a interruption of the system. Toss it away and put the toy back together. When you put it back together, you want to make sure that there's two little indentations on the side of this. There's two points inside. When you put this in here, you want it to move freely. Okay. Put the toy back together. Pull that cable out a bit. And glue it in. Okay. And here's the battery cover. You can glue the battery cover back on if you want, but whoop, all right. Not being completely okay, not being completely put back together. You can see that it popped apart, so it does really need to be glued up. Okay, but once it's back together, you have a very dependable, reliable toy. It's very sturdy because this is nicely molded in here. It stands off good. It's going to be a direct contact to that switch. This actually should be a very durable, long-lasting adaptive switch for you. Thank you. Okay, so I put this together before, soldered it all up, and I realized that I had forgotten this little strain relief here, which is very, very helpful so that the cable doesn't rub on the casing at all. And I'll put a link below as to where to get these. They come in different sizes. And I think mine are the 2 millimeter size. But when you put that into it, now you have a real nice professional looking fit. Another note is when you're soldering this onto that, near that dome, you want to be careful. You do not get any solder on this dome. I had accidentally soldered the red wire in here, and it made just a bit of a contact with I'm sorry, the red wire made just a bit of a contact with the dome, and it had the light coming on. So you want to make sure that that's nice and well done. Put this back together. Again, lining up, making sure that those pins and registrations make for a smooth movement of the button. I've got it done now. Put this back together, lining up. Well, I put the batteries in, but you don't need them. Okay. Batteries are a no-go. So you're going to have to glue this. If you've done a good job putting this together, you'll never have to take it apart. But you're going to want to put a little bit of glue on this when you put it back together. And while you're at it, you might just as well glue the battery cover in place so that it never comes off because it doesn't need to come off. So now, right, it's not glued back together, but there's our adaptive switch all ready to use. Okay. And stereo cable, $1.25 buzzer from Dollar Tree. So stop by Dollar Tree and pick them up. Tell me what you think. You have a wonderful day. Thanks for visiting Santa's Switch Adapted Toys.